What's up, Gambia? You're watching another episode of the Gist Hour on Eco TV International. I remain your host, Fatmata Diallo. Tey nag si biir studio bi maa ngi ànd ak ndaanaan maa ngi am fii a legend, CEO of Park Music. He's a songwriter, he's a producer, he's a performer, moom daal all in one la. Mu ne nag duñ ko dee wax léegi Freaky Joe Singhateh la waaye man dinaa dellu nag di ko ooyee Freaky Joe ndax man time boobu noonu su ma déggaan Singhateh Freaky Joe laa ko daan xamee xam naa ne time boobu noonu daal maa ngi xala nekk xale xaw ma kuy waaye benn song moo nekkoon one of my favorite bi nga xamante ne su ma ko dégloo rek suma xol bi daf daan fii dina ma ko bàyyee balaa ñuy dem si biir interview bi nag waaye naa ko bàyyi rek ma dalal ko welcome to the show Freaky.
Thank you Fatou.
nga ne naka duñ la ooyati Freaky. Singhateh.
gis loo si kii bi. tay moo lii amutoon moo tax nga ne Freaky. ay Singhateh la.
Singhateh bi lan la firi. xam naa ko waaye bëgg naa askan wi tamit xam. Singhateh bi naka la ñëwee
Singhateh bi das mooy suma lifin naka suma sant.
ok
Singhateh. foog naa dégg nga Singhateh so many times. but I think I'm the most popular Singhateh.
waaye am na lu mu firi tur bi.
waaw di nga gis ni comme before ñëpp Freaky Joe leen ma xamoon. te yëpp affaire yëpp foofu la starté. so waaye bu ma start di tour dem America. Gambia so waaye Freaky is mean something fancy, something pretty, something appealing. While in America when you say freaky, it means something naughty. You understand? So on my last trip, when I say, "Where you from Africa? Good music. What's your name?" Freaky. You say, "Huh? Freaky." So then through the line with my producer Hakeem of Sons of Light, then I'm like, I think I need to rebrand a little bit, you know. So that's when the Singhateh come in. Singhateh is a so-called alajila to that Santa Singhateh.
Okay.
Normally Singhateh we then could spell Singhateh. So when I talk, let me make it Singhateh. So then I guess the Sing la def, I gain for H, def for A, si diga like capital A. That's my name Alaji. Then I continue go TEH. So I make a Singhateh instead of Singhateh. So Singhateh is my real last name, Singhateh, but artistically you have to say Singhateh. So then I'm Sing, S-I-N-G, I'm A, Alaji, TEH. Teh.
yaa ngi géej Gambia tuuti nga ñëw Gambia lan nga gënoon a nama si Gambia.
man de moom du may dem fenn lekka rek.
lekka rek.
And the weather.
What is your favorite dish?
I've been eating everything.
Huh?
Like seriously.
nga ne ma.
lépp. yu ma
ban la si
namoon
gën a
yëpp
neex daal si gaay.
lu ma gën a neex. man soose la duma daa rek.
doma da ya duranta bono.
mo la follow kara tubabudu.
iko mo ika wata binyadi la wala ni parete bi nan karandi la mina private ate nan karandi ide la
musu jama bi jende le do da tabo la
imante nota biro
met fo ngo jama bi je
jama bari mante nota biro la
well fo ni ngetan mos yes
dim pareta after ban karandi la okay Singhateh I bondita nan from another land inata na imurunta nan back to your motherland. How did you feel when you came back and how was the environment?
Yeah, it's actually nice. I think I've been here 2009 for 5 weeks. But then there are a lot of changes, of course. The country have grown and then the people have progressed. A lot of people are moving forward. A lot of young people are into something compared to when I was here. Because that time it was very hard for young people to, like for beginners to come up with something. Like a lot of young people are very independent and basically I'm happy with the way things are going. It could be better by time, but my first impression is the young people. I'm a young man, so I want to see my fellow young people progressing. So luma gis the legi mom is happening before kid bo gis nga minister ba ko mom koto bi moko mom. Tai is young people. You go to businesses, you see young people doing. You go to media houses, young people are behind the cameras, young people are interviewing. So we are the future. So that alone tells that all the young people who are in abroad who think they can come back and also contribute, I think we are on the right track.
Okay. xam naa ne suñ fi toogee ñu wax la nga commencé depuis foo jógee sa journey bi ba tey fi nga toll nii xam naa ne dina nekk loo xamante ne gudda na bëri na waaye dinañ bëgg rek nga wax nit yi a bit about yourself kañ nga start music foo jógee ak naka nga def ba àgga fii tey.
Basically I'm born and grown in Bansang. People say Bansang but I say Bensang. Bensang. I just make it a little bit
nice.
Wow, Bens. No more started in America when I'm from Bensang, not Bansang. So people don't say Bansang, Bensang. So that's where I came from. For flight of my junior school, primary school, junior school, and then I moved to Combo. I was in Gambia High School, everyone knows. But before I come here in Bansang, I'm on drama groups, so I was part of the drama groups. We be singing classroom, performing at furals, performing at speech and prize giving days. That's where I first met Esa Jallo of GRTS a long time ago. So Buma Gise Fofam, you are very good. Maybe you should come down to Combo area. But unfortunately, after my high school, I was in Armitage High School. My dem for spent for one term. Then I decided that I want to move back to Combo because Armitage, it's a campus school, and for mom, you don't just do what you want to do. Seniority more for the neck. So I couldn't stand all that punishment. All those, I could say some of them are not punishment. You can call them brutality. So I moved to Gambia High School. Then when I came to Gambia High School, the same vibes. I love music. I love reggae music. So no land like a Gambia High School. Which my boys in the class, then you're Wayne, then you're definitely 2004, I think, when the Gambia High School and St. Augustine's and problems in stadium. They have some students you there for through this inter-school competition and all that stuff. And they decided to form a union called Gamsense Reconciliation. Because near the school, so the competition was so nasty that time. So we decided to organize a one-week event between these two schools. So, Sila Usta singer in your class, before you keep singing, why can't you sing something about this reconciliation? When I thought like it was an idea, then I proved him, then I tried. Sila meets my ex-manager, Pa Usman, who is the CEO of Gambian Talent Promotion, and he was the president of that Gamsense Reconciliation. So when I met him, tell him this is a song that I have, and then you meet Hakim of the Sons of Light. When I released the song, it was everywhere. I don't know if you remember the song. Gamsense Reconciliation. You might remember that song. So that was the turning point. When I did that song, it went everywhere. Then from there, Hakim think I'm good. When you are my dad on the song, since I'm a youth, it's called Give a Message to the Youth right now. I think everyone knows that song. Or maybe you're a baby still. Give a message to the youth right now. So give a message to the youth right now. That song was popular too.
I know that song,
So from that song, I think the whole country started to love me, and then I start concentrating focus on music. Yeah. So if I want to continue, maybe you can start from then, continue from there.
Okay. Naka la sa lifin mi mel, because xam na ne time boom noonu boo doon start mi boo leen nekkoon si music bi yow ñoom Njaay bi la ñoom Oluganda ñoom Jalex naka nga gisee time boobu noonu music industry bi ak léegi ban difference nga gis time boobu noonu ak léegi yéen bëriwu leen woon ba da ngaa gis ne léegi at every corner boo toon rek yaa ngi gis an artist kii mu naan ma damay woy kii mu ne ma rapper la everywhere naka nga gisee loolu noonu
waa time boobu noonu the music was very very deep and very, very natural. Mais par time boobu bari wuñ comme na ko waxee tamit. So di nga gis ne there is competition, but in a healthy way. You understand? But di nga gis time boobu tamit it was more of a passion than just release a song, go to the stadium, make money, and go and buy a big car and do your thing. In time boobu we are happy doing music. We don't have the social media like this. No Facebook, no YouTube, no Twitter, nothing that time, nothing. So we are just like loved by people for hearing our music on the radios, going to the market, buying our CDs or buying our cassettes. So that time I could say the music was very organic, one can relate to it very much that time. Mais par ñun ñëpp ku nekk dafa am sa style. Man I have my style, Jalek has his style, Jabi have his style, Oluganda, Pa Umar Jag, he's from Mboop. So that time it was not very saturated, so they were wearing a killer, So now that is the technology, of course. Even Europe is a league artist anybody compared to before. Now everything is easier. Artists wanna joke, media, they've got a boom, they've got superstar. When in a nutshell, that's the music, So that time the competition was healthy. I remember there's an episode between me and Jalex the time. I came from America where I did my album, Words Unspoken. I like the way you walk it. Look how you control it. Everybody talking about it. I did that album. I recorded the whole album in America. So when I came, before I released the album, then that time, Jalex was also about to release his album. And that's how competition has to be. It has to be very healthy. So mom again, I couldn't do telling that was like a hit song. I'm like, hey guys, we have to wait. Let us not release. Then I went back, struggle in the ghetto, trying to find a better life. Boom. So it wasn't part of the album, but I have to do that to make sure I counter-attack that I couldn't do telling nowadays. That's a healthy competition. You know, we don't throw words at each other. We don't know munyo ufsu play ni de kudega kundi tele no de ngamne bo my last song Jalex. Kudega leave it on ngamne so bijena Singhateh parena. So that's how we were competing, very healthy wise. You know, so we don't curse each other. You know, we just doing music. Come no passion la time bobu nono. You know, so it's different from today. Yeah.
Lan nga am pour wax ñi nga xamantene uprising artist lañ. Way da nga gis ne legi ci music industry bi da nga gis ne ku wëy rek so sagut da ngay feel ne sa woy bi is not there. Ku waxut ku tooñut xam nañ ne daal beef is very normal si music but da ngay gis ne léegi da ngay gis ne kii su sagut kii rek dafay feel ne moom music am bi aagut fu mu war a aaga wala defut nu mu war a def lan nga am pour advice yi nga xamante ne ñu ngi def loolu te nga xam ne Gambian music bi léegi ñëpp a ko dee déglu xale dañooy déglu mag yi dañooy déglu ba si international sax léegi dem na ba international level so lan nga am pour wax ñi nga xamante ne ñu ngi start di dugga si music bi kon ko yow yaaga nga si music am nga si enough experience bi nga xamante ne mun nga leen a wax one or two things yi nga xamante ne si yooyu la ñu war a dox pour ñu avoid façon yooyu noonu
language is very important. And the most important thing for me is the culture. American, they can use the F words, they can use whatever. It might be their culture. But in facing culture, it's totally different from that. Like when I started, I was singing more English songs. Mary, they were in school. Most of them, they don't know what I was saying. But I'm not no patamet. As much as they were in school, so they get some words and it's not appealing to the ear. You can feel this is not there. Mary, they don't even know what I was singing. But they know that Kilumo it makes sense. Yeah, it's the young people. They want to get concert hallelujah now you know concerts. Maybe it's their generation they can use those F words, but they've had difficult punga am magputok si office you wanna hear this artist singing and he's using F words. You understand? But this bit I made the Singhateh ni that's been there. Man G that's my diss on like 2006. But I understand he was trying to come out from the mods. You understand? Because so they care. So he said, "Kim, say cow." So la like boy, they gonna say, boy, we get this Singhateh. They gonna say, we get this Jalex. Some use it as a stepping stone just to come out. So when he did that song, even the people who were in that video, they were also part of the media houses at that time. X Miles was there, Black Shine was there, Fila Group, they were all there. But they all came to me and apologized because that time, if you're into production or into promotion thing, you have to be independent. You cannot censor artists of what he's saying, but you want to book as a video, man, one more book as a video, okay, you get this ST, man, nigga for the future. You understand? It's like I'm supporting that. But when I had an interview, I think it was with Haruna, someone saying, "No, did he have the song G Diss You?" I don't even know the dudes that time, man, how much? I was just doing my thing. But he was angry because he said that time, man, they play G-artists, a radio, and they play. People play what they like. Today, DJs are complaining they are playing new artists more than the others because they think people like this artist song. So, but they do not sell. Man, do my record an artist with saga. Now I'm a producer, I will not record any artist with saga. So I think Singhateh, you can this is part of the game. But why I'm not distracting more than they mention other people's parents, which is very sad. You know, respect like sometimes it has to do with home training. Sometimes the new them studio man they nan. I haven't seen it, but maybe that too alone. If you face the boot, you know so hell longer they way. Yeah, so it's more or less like being conscious and.
Okay, naka nga manage to cope nga joge Gambia, them to another country. nga gis ne suñ nuñ dee defee fii suñ jëfini music bi ak outside world bi it's not the same dafa different naka nga manage pour cope ak situation boobu noonu nga adjust to their own way of doing things.
Yeah, you know Balama based in Europe, I've been going there back from 2006 all the way 2014 Balama base. So I have a literally very good fan base there. Compared to now that it's easy artists with jógee fii dem Italy nga organize show hold be first step because ñu ñëpp xam na léegi boy yëpp dem nañ through the back way, so it's easy. Not disrespect to them, they went there to be successful. That's what they choose to. No disrespect. Come a scenario of when I was going. That time, you not talk about back way. From 2006 all the way to 9. So normally responsible people in there, they were there, living they know show see. But the music, if the music is nice, it's clean, you can play it anywhere. You know, so most of the time I just play reggae music, reggae dancehall with fusion of some Gambian figure. Most of the time it's reggae, and reggae is international music. And you are speaking language that they can hear as well. So blending those two wasn't a difficult thing. It wasn't difficult to blend in. No way from a reggae Oslo. If there's a reggae concert, any reggae artist coming, they look up to me to come and perform. So, which is a good sign as well.
Okay. Park music bi naka la ñëwee about ak ndax yaa ngi am any artist yi nga xamante ni you're working with them.
Yeah, park music actually it all started with a joke. I wasn't planning to get into production, to be honest. I gave my laptop so I just have to make it so deep. I gave my laptop to someone to repair. And then he ended up selling my laptop. You understand? I've been calling him. Did they pick me and pro? And then after he came and compensated and give me another laptop. And that laptop, that's where I found a recording software, Logic. I'm like, wow, this is Logic. Then by that time I was having few instruments home, then that's when I started recording a little bit. You know, then I started practicing. I was literally recording for free for all these artists. Mighty Joe, Jizzle, I'm the first artist who recorded him. Even he said it's Block Entertainment. But I'm the first artist, I'm the first producer who produced him, and I still have the song. You know, so there are so many of them that pass through the studio. Okay, I used to record at, I don't even have a studio, I used to go to Paradise when they were at, is it Manjai or Koto over there. So no longer start the record guy, in a nutshell, I was just practicing on them. So when I moved to Norway, it was easy for me. So I was able to record my songs, I was able to stay on time, because you know, so for them, in a hall, studio for free, that's easy to record song, but in Europe it's expensive. That's why they got artists, then you took them Europe, don't they got. Because so hall your hall is boy league. Ngawara face red, ngawara you in Gambia, ngawara def to own sting here and there. So don't want them again nga def hall studio, be pare them record song, be pare do si am dara. So that's where the different camps came in. I have a studio in my house. I recorded there. And then after 3-4 years, I went to the university in Norway. I was studying music for 3 years. I just graduated last year before COVID. So I work with different artists, Gambian, non-Gambians. People send me files from Gambia here. There are so many artists that I recorded here.
This man, young producer Big Fa, young producer Sehu Yafa.
Yeah, Yafa, and so many other them. All of them. I haven't met them passionate. Come like I knew them. When we are not at the same place, we work through the internet. They send me, I mix, send it back. So many of them. So that's how it started. I'm like, okay, I'm here in Europe. You can hustle, make the money, but this is my passion. I might not want to sing maybe anytime longer, but I want to contribute my part, which is the production. You are still inside the business. You sign artists. I've been there, done it. So I'm not guided, not just to record, but I know I can tell you, do this. This is how you can stay long in the industry. So that's why I'm here now to open my studio and invest my quarter to the entertainment.
Okay. Is there any upcoming artists that you have mentored before or you are mentoring right now?
There are a lot of artists that I help them. Because when you say pack music, the first word, pack music, is package. That's what it means. So it's different when you just go to a producer who only make music or who only records, but he cannot sing. You understand? But when it comes to pack music, you have the chance of recording a song, you have the chance of me putting my idea into a song as well. Mun na la guide ni, defal ni, remove this because I'm an artist. So if I hear something that is not right, I can be able to rectify it. That's why we say package. When you come to my studio, you have literally everything in a package. Because you are working with a producer, you are working with a performer, you are working with a singer. So no, that's how the name came. Many people don't understand. It's just shortcut package.
Positive impact la sa tukki bi make ci sa carrière bi?
A whole lot. Because luma wa guy moy number one thing is going to Europe, coming with millions of dollars. You might spend the money and it's done. But going to Europe, empower yourself, having your knowledge never fades away. So I'm here, I will make the best opportunity of what I can study here. If I go back home, this can be my profession. So being in Europe has exposed me to a whole lot of different things. I've met a whole lot of important people in the industry, artists, studio producers, and a whole lot of other people. So my knowledge bubble I will try, put it here, just as I was talking to Keba. You know, so we need people who have experience, who have been there. When they come back, you need to contribute in quarter. Though it's difficult for people to understand your working condition, but as long as they get used to it, that's how we progress. Yeah.
How do you think you have impacted in people's life through your music?
Wow, there's a whole lot. Like, I have a whole lot of people who have said, like, I particularly inspire them. Because when I started the thing, like, my story is kind of complicated. It wasn't all sweet at the beginning. It was very tough. You know, coming from Bansang, coming in here, try to get into the system, and then suddenly you blow up. You're traveling every 6 months. At that time, traveling is difficult. Very, very difficult. So it's like me going back and forth. That alone inspires a lot of artists. Oh, side them, na. When people say, oh, artists, they need them talk. I have been traveling from 2006 all the way to 14. I never stayed. Them def suma tours in Nyipsy. So that inspires a lot of artists when they made their Nyipsy. You know. So there's a lot of young people. I don't want to mention names because you want to grow, but there are a lot of them. Because of they seen the little achievement that I made when I was here. So yeah, there are a whole lot of people. You want to be inspired, mentor, up to today. Yeah.
Am na ñuy faral di wax ne Gambian artists fi jógee dem to another land daf dee seeda wala daf dee fire bi daf dee fay da nga gis ne du shawaraat si music wala du mën a produce at songs yow naka nga gisee loolu yow fan nga teg sa boppa si ñooñu nga bokk wala dum fa demee
man lu ma dee wax gars yi mooy at this time of my life I didn't regret anything because like lu ma def ñëpp xam ne def na ko all these artists they know big father they were the man yéen nopp leen waaye man gis naa fi ñoom Singhateh boy ñoom Friki gis naa leen so man lu ma def na ko comme like moo de it's like me going back there su ma ñibbisi for example without any other means of making music up to today tey donc dama wade I'm like young people are the one coming busting up the new artists you are here but if you have to put me on the same stage with all of these artists then you're down you buy my food.
Okay.
Come on, there are most of them. I'm an engineer. They are studio producers. You go to studio, you're supposed to so a few words like I can change your voice anyhow I want. Why should I take a live band? People not even here. They are not going to keep way. So that people have to understand. A studio artist going to the studio, recording EQ and reverb, def TP and auto tune on your voice. You sound all nice. So you take a live band, bad bichanga. So it's not like I'm bossy, but there are so many of them. They are the one on top today, up to today. I can teach them music. I can teach them a whole lot of things. Because they come like you can say, oh, the fame wasn't there because I've been away for a minute. But man, come like I'm not here to compete on Magla. Do more def na ko man male mak. Then you half of them are inspire. So me coming back is I'm more interested in the young talents that are coming. How to help them, how to guide them. You am the key smoke sign and I sign them, I work with them. You know, so basically that's it.
Just our lañ wax su ñëwé ci next segment bi rek dinañ dugga ci producer yi ci artistes yi ak Ghanaian showbiz bi in general waaye naa la laaj benn question xam naa ne daal fu may ñëw laal former président bi Yaya Jammeh mayoon na la ay xaalis de ala xaalis bi yëpp jeex na. Da nga bëgg a wàllu ba da nga bëgg a ñëwaat. Yëpp jeex na wala naka la. Da nga bëgg a wàllu ba dégg ñu bëgguma gaay di anam.
Ok léegi.
yëpp a jeex wala
léegi
seen relationship bi nu mu starté ba nga dem ba am xaalis war a am xaalis bu bëri boobu si moom.
nekkul ne Yaya Jammeh moo tax ma riche de.
ah. moo tax nga riche de. ma ne la ana xaalis bi. na dafa jeex.
déedéet.
ñu seedoo ko ba tey su dee mu.
waaw ana lu ma wax njëkk
ah ok.
Me and Yaya Jammeh, you know Yaya Jammeh, he you might hate him or you might not like him, but he's a very nice guy. He like young people who love to try something. You understand? Well, yeah, they are my foreign artists a lot of money, but if he like you as a Gambian artist, and he love what you do, he can support you. And he has supported a lot of artists, and Yaya Jammeh has contributed to the life of so many Gambians here. You understand? I'm not going to tell you, but watching and then study abroad, and he contributed a lot to them. So we give the devil its due sometimes. Me personally, I think my first meeting with Yaya Jammeh was Gambia High School 50-year anniversary. 50 years anniversary. He was a Gambia High student. I'm a Gambia High student, so I was the one performing, representing my school at Makati Square. So when I came, just as you said, it was only Singhateh. When I came, I was performing, I played this song, I think, give me the love I want, baby, give me the love I need. That's the song I was playing. The whole place turned fire. He's like, who is that guy? You understand? He seen me in the TV, but not seeing me personally performing. Then when I finished, me and my guy, they play show, I remember I was in my car, I drove all the way after Gambia High School. Lami Manga, Shede, La Mama call. Freaky phone, I'm going home. Are you mad? I go, why? Well, the president is looking for you. Actually, you have to come. You U-turn, Adele what? That's when I met. That's when Manga came, took me to the podium. I met him. He asked me where I came from, Morocco. He was making fun of me. Then he's like, you know, I never sing song for me. I go, Then that day he gave me not some dollars, of course. Then that was 27th, I think 25th or 27th of December. Then that day I'm New Year celebration at Makati Square. So he asked us that I should come back and perform there. So if we pay the studio, will you make the song before the New Year's? I said, yes, Daddy, we can make it. Give us the money, we went, put the band together. That song, we wrote it overnight. Alale Masaya Diela, and it was a big song. You understand? The song was that man, I'm the boy, it's a song bone, it's one of my favorite songs. Why Coco Well Bumako. Like, all right, no problem. Though it brings some controversy here. Some people were angry, me singing the song. You understand? Some fans were a little disappointed, which I understand is a political situation. You understand? And but then, in a nutshell, that time, Monowel Yaya Jammeh, 80% of the Gambia, they all like him there. Maybe when things were getting rough, that's when people start talking about that time. When I was singing that song, a lot of Gambians were supporting him, including myself. So I didn't regret singing that song. You understand? So that's how the whole scenario started. Yeah, he sponsored me for my album project here, but I couldn't have my job.
Buguloo ñu séedu.
No.
Bugul ñu séedu.
Yow nga ñaata at nga am time boobu xaalis boobu doon ñëw.
Waaw ba tey mun naa mu ngi des. 2010. Wayal nga ko tëddu. Man tam tey di ma wayal suma fi toog wala ñu dem for the break.
waaye gis nga wayal naa ko.
Waaw.
Bu in pass bi tamit ñëw mu ne du wàcca. Ma ne man maa ñëwaat ak man mu wàcca.
Okay.
You haven't had that song?
Yow faruloo fen daal.
No, waaye time boobu doon he wasn't on the right track. Lose na. Accept nga lose nga. So li nga ne doo wàcca. So we all have to put our voice here and there. Man maa ñëwaat ma ne ko mu wàccaat. People say that, oh, you sang for your night. Ma ne ko waaw. if you want a lesson, fine, but dafa lose. So we all have to put our pay, and then I came back and I go, G silang. That's it.
Okay. Sa ikai G, yeden kilo banda ente fanang. Iban favorite trago lala nya jamin bita for a short break na murunda.
No problem.
Iban samba lala wala ne samba.
You know it samba.
This is a story of my
Yeah,
life.
love story. What's your story?
Mbafale after bari no la nya folo rek. Mbafale after bari samba wota jamin bita break la.
And that song too, when you hear the song, we first met down in Canilai. God knows I intend no lie. This love sweet like a candlelight. Not so, not true, you know the lie. I will love you, girl, till I die. Can we please marry and be my wife? Let me be the one in your life. She simply replies, Singhateh. Put a ring on my finger, Singhateh. Can you hold my hand, Singhateh? That song was written in a car.
Really?
It was during the Kanilai festival, whatever. We were driving, that's how the song was written before we go to the stadium.
It's my favorite song.
Yeah, so many people
Of all
love that
times.
song. Thank you.
Okay, viewers, the interview is getting interesting, but we'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we continue. Stay tuned.
Office General Manager bi di Baboucar Niang Mr Niang dama bëgg nga waxal ñu services yoo leen am ci seen real estate bi ak wàlli construction bi.
Ok, jërëjëf Salima. Soninkarah Real Estate Construction groupe la boo xam ne doomi réew mi Gambie ñoo ko moom te dañ nekk fii pour dimbale Gambien ak non Gambien si wàllum dëkkuwaay pour nu mu gën a yombee nu mu gën a oyofee si nit ñi pour kenn ku nekk mun a am dëkkuwaay bu yomba te doo si am benn problème looloo war a Soninkarah ñëw pour dimbale nit ñi si wàllum paaka si wàllum kër si wàllum construction pour dimbale askan bi lii la Soninkarah ñëw di def fii si Gambia noonu Soninkarah dem na ba nga xam ne di dimbale néewi doole si laan boo xam ne dafa affordable comme dafa yomba nga di ko fay nanka si ay diiri ñaari at ñetti at ba juróomi at loolu yëpp Soninkarah mu ngi koo def demoon foofu noonu rek dañ wax ne tamit foo xam ne tamit dina nga laan te nga bëgg a construct mënuloo construct soo ñëwee si ñu dinañ la constructal tabaxal la ba mu baax jox la sa caabi te doo si am benn problème gannaaw loolu tamit emu si loolu rek wax ne am na ñoo xam ne dañoo indi ay moto fii bëgg koo am ak suuf te du ndee xam fu ndee dem ñun ñu ngi laa wax ne ñëw ak Soninkarah soo ñëwee fii dinañ la make sure ne li nga bëgg di nga ko am si ñun si anam bu rafet si anam bu yomba si anam boo xam ne doo am benn problème gannaaw loolu tamit place yi nga xam ne moom la Soninkarah di joxe bari na ñu ngi am ay individual plots ñu ngi am ay service plots ay individual plots yoo xam ne comme dëkkuwaay yoo xam ne si biir dëkk bi la fii lu mel ni Bruce bi lu mel ni Bijilo lu mel ni Jabang lu mel ni Sukuta lu mel ni Tujereng Sanyang Jambanjiri ay dëkkuwaay yu bari yoo xam ne Soninkarah am jënd nañ ko lépp pour jox ko askan bi pour askan bi mun a am dëkkuwaay bu yomba boo xam ne kenn du si am problème kenn du si am benn texa li yëpp Soninkarah mu ngi koo def jërë ngeen jëf si opportunity boo leen ñu jox Soninkarah pour waneel suñu boppa waaye ñu ngi leen di xamal askan bi ne boo leen ñëwee fii Soninkarah lépp lu waaye di ut rek boo ñëwee fii rek di nga ko am incha allah jërë ngeen jëf.
Welcome back, viewers. After that break, comme numa len ko waxee tey si biir studio bi Singhateh rice laa fi am xam nga waxuloo ñu si fi rice bi Singhateh rice bi noo ko aadee foofu noo génne friki joo bi nga aad Singhateh rice
because time boobu noonu kon numa doon waxee dañ doon try pour génne friki joo bi so si dañoo génne woy tudda Singhateh rice xam nga woy boobu noonu Singhateh rice I know la they get panic yes me coming hard like a supersonic woy boobu moo tax nag ñu mën a génne tuuti Freaky Joe boobu it was difficult. So most of the promoters time was if they are making the advert. su ma nee waaye Singhateh dañu war mooy nit ñi ñu ko understand. Try to tell them you can say Singhateh aka Freaky Joe. That aka I'm the first person to bring it here. It means commonly known as Freaky Joe. So boobu su fa defee soo waree Singhateh aka Freaky Joe Singhateh commonly known as Freaky Joe. So noonu leen started ba Freaky Joe bi génn. Especially after the song Singhateh Rice came in. It was a hit song. A lot of people love it. noonu lañ génne bale.
dogoon nga sa story waaye dama la bëgg a delloo foofu dama bëgg nga laal nit yi nga andi ñu baak si time boo xam ne yaa ngi doon jógee Bansa nga dugg si moto jën bi ngay ñëw foofu laa bëgg nga laal xam nga ñun yëpp time boobu noonu ñu ngi yong ñu ngi nekk xale. soo suma maas yi ak ñeneen si biti di ñu seetaan right now. ñu ngi bëgg a xam lu bëri si sa expérience sa jaar jafe-jafe yi nga xam te ne yooyu nga doon jànkuwanteel yëpp dañ bëgg a mu leer fii dañooy gis. yóbbuñu foofu
waaw man comme as I tell you I'm not worried about the past. If you are not living in the past, say Alhamdulillah. So and the past is what inspires a lot of people as well. That Charlie moto moo doon du jën Charlie moto la mooy time of xamaa léegi jën daf day am time boobu gars yi dañuy jël jën fii di ko drop si dëkk yi ba passé. So when I wanted to move to Kombo, my mom said no du ma ñëw. So me and my cousin Kalilu Banja, who was also I think permanent secretary of Gam Music, now he's in Germany. So ñun ñaar ñoo gàppa gaay si marché bi around 1 to 2 o'clock because gars dañ dee deliver afa ñu delluwaat si dee boobu si guddi boobu noonu. foofu lañ gàppa gaay ñëw ñu ñaan lift comme like everyone ñu ne ñaan lift. gars di ñëw si truck bi caalo because it's like a refrigerator foofu lañ ne caale waaye time boobu suñu demee basé balaa gars di ñëw fekk wàcc nañ yëpp waaye affaire nag day xeeñ caalo moom ba dégg. So that's how we escape from Bansang. We come to Serekunda. See on this, I can still remember the episode. The driver was kind of tired. He nearly left the way. I tried and if you get to Serekunda 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You runga dem Latrikunda Germany. That's when I'm stay on for quite a lot of time. So that's how everything started before I get enrolled to Gambia High School. Then after maybe give up. Okay, no problem. You choose. And then when I came to Gambia High School, I came with my results from Armitage High School, which was very impressive. I think I took first in my class, and when you put all the grade 10s who took first in different classes, I beat all of them. So Gambia High School, Armitage High School, they don't want to give me a transfer paper because they also like holding their brilliant students. So Legi man madam, Mr. Ka, Gambia High School with my results, he was impressed. But he said he cannot enroll me without a transfer from Gambia, from Armitage. Because su ko defee dafa am problem ak Mr. Sane Armitage. Because time boobu dañ dee search if you are a smart student like mun nga sport from Armitage, Gambia High School la dee search la scholarship. Those kind of things. So now that's where everything gets messed up. Then I have to go back. Ma dem lijjante boobu noonu. Then my mom wasn't even willing for me to transfer. Dama dem abal yaay Georgetown. I went and get one of my auntie ma ne ko mooy suma yaay, not knowing that the principal knows my mother. Ma dem fa ma ne ko suma yaay. So things get rough. Then my mom ended up complying. I came, get the transfer request. I came. Then that's why I moved to my grandma house in Banjul. Ñun ñetti ponkal ñoo dëkk si nekk. Try. After grade 10, still the music was coming. Then we went to beach with Banjul. There are so many people in Banjul. You go there, I beach with I have my little tape. I go there. My adopts, my train, my way into the beach. You they train, they how they might enjoy. And then for them stop it to all of them. But when most of them start seeing me on the TV, that's when I know he will make it because every day amongst the beach, the way them train for now. So when I start, my mom said, "Your auntie said to them school, and then I can way." But after grade 10, 11, there were a lot of youth groups in Gambia. So I was one of the heads performing for all these youth groups. They got a fair time over 2,500, 3,000. I started paying my own school fees from grade 10, third time. My sister stopped paying. So we just a little progress. So the most important is they come like when you come from a family that's not traditional. They could do an alaji wake la alaji ni. It was my passion. No one knows. I'm not if my dad was alive, I would never think of singing. So the most important thing is you stay away from drugs. I wasn't doing anything drugs. I was more conscious. I do my music, but I'm not masohla. Up to today, there's something on there. I'm not saying Singhateh is the best artist in the country, but he has the most organized group. Time of them, Japale, they all help, because it all has to do with your food package, your presentation. I have people guiding me, but I just take the thing as a business, not just about performing and then talking and voo and so again, if I don't have a show, if I'm on Kairaba venue, what I can do, if I can make an advert here, if I can make this here. That's why that time I was so connected with AfriCell and other stuff. So it was basically like more like an entity, like a business, because artists show. Like for example, when this pandemic came in, if you don't have other means of making revenue, where may I have this? So that's how things were. But let's sell, no laughing your company. Charlie would want to Indi. More than my hands also deck by force.
By force,
head be pull ni.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, naka lang ko jëlé won bo duggé ci musique bi parce que wa nga fi né dafa bañoon pour nga ñëw combo bi. So bu mu démé bam xamné yow yaang ci biir yifi musique naka la ko jëlé?
Well, at first, he doesn't like it. Because time I made a ball and so auntie alaji what I can kilo and but my mom also is she haven't gone to school, but she knows what's going around. So I talk my unit my dad at least from here. You come to places like Bansang, the whole committee come out to your shows. Alcohol said they know them talks, my perform. They know your talk center because they couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? They know your talk, first that they play. I go there, raise funds with people. So you have seen that at least I'm carrying a group, so I knew the money and a full group fee. So we do our thing. I'm doing my thing. That's it way because back when I graduated from high school, I was like, manamatuki, namanafse. I applied British Embassy, you reject me. I applied American Embassy, you reject me. I applied Spain, you reject me 3 times. I'm like, you know what? Let me just concentrate with my music. After 1 year, 2 years, I released my first album. It's a Nigerian promoter who came to pick me up from Gambia all the way to America. So the guys they come like, if he's trying to open ways, sometimes it becomes difficult, but sometimes more than a reward.
So you wow,
exactly. So from there, that's it. I have sisters who said, but through the music that I was singing, I was able to travel. So from there, things started opening. I started to make sure I keep my contacts up to today.
Sisa wax bi fi wane na ne practice makes perfect. Ndik wax nga ne dang daan dem si bij bi di rehearse di gën a jànga waaye da nga gis ne léegi si jamono léegi Gambian artist nekkut ñëpp waaye most of them or some of them da ngay gis ne ñoom daal suñ duggee studio ñu record benn song génnee video they are cool with it doo gis koo xamante ne dafay nekk di rehearse always di practice every time ñoom da ngay gis ne suñ defee benn rek they feel like they are perfect soo leen tryé pour rectify gars yi sax mun nañoo mer sa loxo lan nga am pour xelal ñi nga xamante ne tamit façon lifestyle boobu lañ dee jël.
waaw foofu la gars yi am problème comme lu ma wax like as I said earlier on tey soo leen teg si stage bi ñu mën a play man big time war a dem foofu dama dem gas pax defar sa boppati yow just to make sure your vocal strength come. You know, I don't know whoever said that you don't touch the bat, all those nonsenses. I did all that, you know, but basically, so it's my first album. It's very raw, very organic. It's not bad, I mean, no way exactly. There is a bad effect apart from compression and reverb and EQ. I would bend auto-tune. So all small way, but all those things were natural vocals. So basically, so the more you train, the more some vocal it's trained. None of them buy, none of them. I boy, they know them most of the time are your studio and record. First thing they will do is to put effect there, which is common now in the music. But if you think about performing live, that's where they fail. There are few of them same way wala. Okay, when you say ST, when you say attack, they can work more on a stamina than more of a voice. Because they know way. You understand? They know rap. they just need the stamina. But you have the way Catalan mom, you have to be practicing constantly.
nga gis ne ñeneen ñi ñu egg stage sax ñu soona.
Mooy stamina.
duñ mun a ñeneen ñi dañoo taxaw benn place sax duñ mun a woy wala ñu taxaw benn place duñ mun a yëngal crowd bi xam nga stage performance bi sometimes is very poor da nga gis most Gambian artists dañooy egg lu ñooy woy dafay neex comme na ko waxee studio artist lañ dee nekka waaye once they come on stage it's another different thing.
More stamina because if you don't have a stamina, there are different ways. You can hold the mic and stand and sing. You understand? You can also hold the mic and start to move. Because movement direct is like a training. So if you don't have that movement, if you don't have that stamina, some bad some okay that they them off. So they want to balance nyari. But if you are training constantly, that will be some bokanasi. You go to the beach, you go to the gym, it is all part of the stamina. If not, then asona. You can celebrate some okay don't control while you are singing at the same time. More than you body, so you perform. As long as they start moving more, then you come as the airlock. They're tired. You know. So more than they get most of their performance are playback. You know, like Texas CD. You music how might be a watcher. So yeah, more practice, more better.
Who's your ideal artist to collaborate with? So I'm on chance put I'm a song with any artist fee right now. Kan la moy nek?
In Gambia. The funniest that. Because like so we say yeah, for of course way if I make a beat or I made a song, most of these artists, I didn't listen to all of the young ones, but most of the ones up there, I listen to their song. So I'm not saying style. So some of a beat, munna hamne key didn't fit the beat. Key didn't fit the beat because of your style of music. So the first one person song like that. So I can work with literally anybody, depending on what kind of style. Like the song I did with Big Fat, when I did the song, and then Big Fat didn't come order. And he did it. You know, that song where I said, yeah, most of them, bro, this is my type. So those are the kind of things. You just have to read and know the artist style. So I can work with literally all of them. Yeah.
Okay. How do you see yourself as an artist?
Okay. How do I see myself as an artist? Okay, that's kind of confusing.
Not really. Da ngay gis ne yenen artist yi dañu ne man may king of Afro. Man may this. I am the king of Gambian music, for example.
Okay.
I am this, I am that. How do you see yourself and how do you want the people to see you as an artist?
Well, I think a lot of people know what I did when I was here. You know, so I'm not here to claim titles. That level has passed. If I can support the boys, I can support. I'm not here like I'm gonna compete with the boys. They come like people who can feel me more are matured people and then you new life, but just my age groups time But these young ones, yes, they know music. When I start doing songs, they'll start to catch up the song. It's all about radio play and going to their source. You know, but I see myself as I would not say I could say actually just to the success that I have in this short time, it all comes through music. So let them just respect music. You can say, okay, I'm a legend. That's what people call me. Okay, on a Gambian level, yes, I will take that. But at least I was able to transform my life through music. You know, so nobody wants to start something, even in the future, if you're not the music, but at least you know that you succeeded through this. So I will never disrespect music. That's why even if I stop singing, I will still be doing my production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which of your songs best represent you or your attitude to life?
Rejoice.
Rejoice.
You know the song? You know the song?
Yeah.
You know the song?
Yeah, I know the song.
Singhateh, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Give thanks to the Most High God. I'm grateful to the Almighty One. Say blessings for all the good things in my life. I love that song.
It represents you.
That song is heavy. Yeah, I love that song passionately. And I think my music represents different vibes. Because when I started, it was more of reggae. Which that reggae, like when it started, Njabi was doing more of Bushman, Luciano style. Oluganda was more of African reggae, Lucky Dube style. I was more or less like me with some love feelings from Glenn Washington and Jackie and all those blending things. Sweet, because the guys jiggy man book reggae, but not my music. People were loving my music. Even girls were singing my music because it's just soft music. You know, it's not aggressive. And the words are clearly listenable. And my first important thing is lyrics are very good, but the melody. If you have a nice melody, nice chorus, the song become a hit. So I think as an artist, that's supposed, before a song comes, your melodies, your chorus would be very catchy. In time of Hakim, Sons of Light, when people go to record his artist, they said, oh, I think you should see Singhateh. He can help you arrange your songs. I can name all artists that I helped to arrange. You know, so those kind of melodies, if you have that, then you're good to go. Yeah.
What is your greatest achievement in your career?
Sitting right here today, narrating my story.
Okay. How do you see the Gambian music industry currently compared to previous years?
Yeah, like I said, currently the new artists are very lucky to have everything at their disposals. Studios are at their disposal, even if I might not call them proper studios because some of them I went there, I don't call those ones studios. But at least they have access to studio. When I was recording my album, first album, it's at Brusubi. Hakim used to, when no one's lived there, I was doing a band, small lunch that they did. Fair pass, no fee, fair sometimes out lift. So my deme, Muro Barbacana de Lek.
Muro Clan?
Tending coma, what tending coma?
Tending coma.
I just tending coma, a bread. Sometimes because Hakim is a vegetarian. He literally don't cook anything. So cookesa, mom, do they invite? He just go at his corner, eat his food, which I might not be even interested in beans and all those things. So that's how it started. You know, the man struggled to find studio. Thank God he was there. He recorded. You have only Hakim, MJ, Gallant Studio, Island Franco. So those were the few studios we have in town. Now it's everywhere. The media is supporting them, YouTube, WhatsApp, Snapchat. So now and before, the guy, some people are saying, "Look at how they and so long I'm on time, but we have been heading with Jamaicans." But on a nutshell, everything starts from a phone. And I'm now you my fake on. You're born Africans, dancehall masters, Maslab, they were all here before me. So they also inspire me. Because you time we know when I made them my band song, I could say. So I've been listening to them extra touch time or what I stand every day. You know. So when they left, I came. When I left, others came. These ones, so they will go. Other badges will come. So I'm happy that Gambian people are answering to concerts. They are feeding up stadiums, which is good. They are answering, you know, which we liked before. So maybe more of a booking. Before that time, we literally don't make, I personally don't make a lot of shows. It was more of bookings. So if the artist can have more bookings than to just wait once every year and host shows in stadium, then Jena, it might be difficult to sustain your career. But if you have a lot of bookings, monthly, 2-3 monthly, time over on the show play Jara Soba, nga wara ñëpp ci de la book another 2-3 months ahead pour ken bu la jël. Wala Tobaski suñu ñëne ñun no la solo Tobaski di. So people keep booking in advances. So yeah.
Upcoming artists yi dañuy faral di complain mostly su ma leen amee ne da nga gis ne dañoo dem shows pour perform, dañuy waste seen time and everything, at the end of the day duñ perform. Da nga gis ne dañuy struggle comme na ko yee because ku nekk am na jaar-jaar, dañoo struggle, ñeneen ñi dañ ñëw ne duñ leen am pass, dañuy dox wala dañuy ñaan liif aaga si venue bi duñ leen jox plateforme bi pour ñu woy. Ndax yow ndax loolu mus na laa dal at a point since bi nga started music bi?
I did so many times. Man, Banjul time boobu dama dem Fural. I know people pay their money to go and dance. Fural. I pay money. I give them my beats for them to play so I can sing. I did that. I remember back home, there is one group. My uncle, when I was there on a holiday at Moro Balde's compound back home, there is one group, Black Nature, whatever, or not Black something. I work with them. Sibi Nawet, they dock from back home. They bufazo dance on masters, they play for. Then dock, they one then tiered back home. What people got us ni. They just to play, you know. When they perform, get parege and get dohat. So what they are complaining, we all pass through it. You know, but I think now that technology has changed, most of the artists wouldn't also force themselves on people's shows. Man, some organized event, I don't expect to invite the whole country artists to come. Invite 6-7 artists that can come and allocate kuneka 20 minutes, 30 minutes, who perform up to his satisfaction comfortably, than having 23 artists on one night. Key dafa ñëw benn one minute at a time wala nga ñëw doo play. I think it's kind of disrespectful now that the world has advanced. Everything can change. Dafa des is so organized as same manager, same promoter, how they organize their shows. Invite few artists, let them come and deliver, perform perfectly. So BJ, than having a lot of artists. That will help you from having a lot of stress. Like you want aside of you invite so wala ñu merci artiste dafa des so am play uma. You invited them. They're supposed to play. Yeah.
ma ñëw si seen side bi producer yi xëj na di nga am 1 or 2 things pour sandi si da ngay gis tamit artistes yi dañ dee faral di complain ne dañoo dem si producer fay ko xaalis and then da ngay gis ne project bi dafay delay wala producer pare si project bi da ngay gis ne luñ doon expect amul loolu noonu outcome bi it's not good wala nit yi lu ñu war a consume da ngay gis ne da nga koo déglu nga xam ne fii bit bi fii mu ngi am fault and all lan nga foog ne moo waral loolu noonu.
Wow, producers too, I have that complaint. Diw serious with diw nii dama fay xaalis dama ko fay ma am suma jot nii. But I think comme ma ko waxee whatever you're doing in life, if you don't take it seriously, you don't see the reward. If you want to be a producer, then you have to be a producer. You have to organize yourself and be a producer. But then beat maker and a producer also is different. You buy the talk same computer, I go to the studio, I don't find any keyboard there. FL Studio, just take a pencil and start drawing notes. There are a lot of big producers doing that. But you are a beat maker, you're not a producer. Number one. Number two, a producer is one who can compose, who can arrange. Mixing, internet, and mastering too. Most of them, they didn't study it. They know deflect what they want, and then you motor so compare some of our records to other outside countries, you see a big difference. You know, because they are recording professors, and here it's easy to record. Now, you guys, sometimes when I hear your beat, when I hear their beat, I'm like, you and I in Gambia. They can be a musician. You go to Senegambia, there are bands at almost every restaurant. You know, most of them in the Soho, they Muslim studio. You invite them, let them come in. You should have a guitar player or a marimba player who play lead with them. Then you will have a better production. So, but I personally, this is what I study. So, I work with different artists. But I'm just a zombie, sir. Demo. If you have anything you want to adjust, I can adjust it for you. Why then you want to parena as a zombie? You artists don't complain in a parena. The artist have to be satisfied because of Lafay. So he has to be satisfied. But I don't know how they take it. But if I pay you something, I'm not happy with it, you make it the way I want it, or you pay back my money. Yeah.
Well, am na solo. Foog nga ne National Center for Arts and Culture ak Gambia Music Union bi ñu ngi dimbale artistes yi Gambie parce que da ngay gis ne si prime months yi comme ni ñu ko waxee suñ prime months yi moo nekk December di dem January ak suñ prime dates yi da ngay gis ne foreign artistes yi dañooy ñëw ñu jël dates yooyu noonu wala nga gis ne show yi dañooy clash daf day affect artistes yi yow doo am loo bëgg a kële du ko am and mostly daf dina nekk ne dañ dee andi foreign artistes yi si biir Gambia bi and show yi ñu clash problems yi di am foog nga ne ñooñu noonu ñu ngi dimbalee Gambian music industry bi the National Center for Arts and Culture ak Music Union bi. NCSC,
I know they talk more than implement actions. I think it's high time. This entertainment, it can be a very good department in making, like, bringing income to the country. Some of these foreign artists we were known. Most of them, especially Senegalese artists, I've been in the industry, I know the industry. Most of these Senegalese artists can indulent fee. I use you, Ms. Jallo, as a promoter only. Man artist mo joge Senegal, man mamo suma sobi. I'm just using you because you're a Gambian, so I can deviate from tax and all those nonsenses. You're just representing me as a promoter. No, most of them, they organize their own shows. If you use a Gambian promoter, then it's easy for you to get what you want. So the government has to, the NCSC together with the government, they have to look into those things. They can come and perform as Gambian will love to go and perform in other countries, but let them pay the taxes they have to pay. Also, let them make sure, since so boom class too much, which Gambian artists understand, because Gambian, so you perform it, Halis feel more, feel more des. So they have to concentrate more on that. Filter the market, so I'm sure you make it a point of duty that you center be register your show, you check ban so more on that day. Understand? You wanna balance everything. If not, if everyone keep picking your own dates, then I talk like you again is a flyer. Next thing I get kita again a flyer, So at the end of the day, it's not helping anybody. And the artists too, they are not helping themselves out. If they call them on a meeting for them to come and talk about their issues, they know. They don't come. So as long as me Singhateh, I'm organizing my show at the stadium, I'm having my 1 million, 2 million per night, I go home. I don't care about next artist. But so if they themselves, if they are so committed with all the meetings that they are organizing, especially the big ones, the big artists, they don't show up. So they are also making it hard for themselves to make sure that things work on their way.
Naka nga feel ne internet has impacted on the music business?
Internet is what is selling music nowadays. As I said, if this was like 10 years ago, it would have been a different story. Internet is what sells everything. That's where artists sell their materials. It's the fastest means of promotion as well. So the internet contributed a lot.
Ban show la Gambian si wara expect bala ngay delu di nga perform si maybe 1 or 2 shows, because right now show yaangi bari Daniel Estad ba ngay ñew yalong ngalong kombon kam ngay ñew ST Jizzle show yaangi bari boy yaangi organize show si ban show wala ban yan shows lañ la wara expect sa performance bala ngay delu
ñu ñep sen so it fi la ma fekk, because I'll be here till March, April, then I go back and come back again. So you feel I'm Africa. They all call me to welcome me back, but we haven't talked about the performances yet. So probably they'll see me in one of those 2 or 3 shows. Jalimari, mom's ma ndola, mom call now, or not sure if they play the by force. Mom, he just make it clear. So that one I know I'm a bit there. So the rest we see.
We'll see, inshallah. Parce que xam naa ne Gambian yi namoon nañ la.
Sure.
ñu ngi yaakamti pour gis la nga yëngatu xam nga. nga yëngal crowd bi man sa bi yoon dama siy bokk bi yoon nu ñu wax ne time boobu xale laa léegi big gal laa man tamit foog ma ambiance so amoon doole bi pour change one thing about the Gambian music industry, what would it be?
It's to censor songs that goes on the radios. But there are so many artists that are not ready yet. So many of them, because maybe they have seen the Senegal, come like Senegal, started come bore, affaire bore. Who am dollar nga da nga bore. Because you know that when you go, even though they not door, so they am hard still. So maybe made the one they want away. Estimating in the Fesal Stadium, you are not ready. So if there one thing I'll do is to be patient, because maybe when I started in 2002, I did only More Message and Reconciliation. Those were the 2 songs. They made them play with Freetown. The rest I just played dubs training. They played dubs. Hakim was out of the country for a year. Yeah, come to me, go hard. But in between, before he came, I was writing songs. That's where I was writing the song with Samususo, the song with Jaliba, and so many other songs. La fanyo rek, now I'm ready to record an album. Why you don't start in less than 6 months, you're going to get a mixtape. I get an album, then I launch album. More you buy the new them after they get discouraged because you are not ready. You are not ready to come out. That music is like when you come out at once and you didn't make it, it's always difficult for you to make that mark.
Come back.
So then I make so you then I make so you then I book by force. So if that's wow. If that's one thing I can change, that's what I can change. Make sure you are ready. When you come back, you are consistent as well. Why again even a better mixtape, I face an audience microphone. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to complain. You're going to be one part of those people that they are not promoting me. You were not ready in the first place. Yeah.
What projects are you work on right now?
Right now, I'm just working on finishing the studio.
Okay.
As soon as possible. As I'm talking to right now, I have my gears in my boot. Tomorrow I'm supposed to record Mary Njai. I think you know her. Yeah. So I keep booking hotels, motels, record few hours. I go.
Should we expect a show?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
We're working on it.
Bo fan la moy neka?
I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay. Waaye xam naa ne daal am na ñoo xamante ne ñu ngi latte Singhateh ngay am Singhateh dafa am jabar wala amul jabar loolu bëgg nañ koo xam de di nga gis gars yi ñeneen yi ñu seen application da ngeen maa seen application yi rek ma jotalil ko wax ko mu leer di gars yi dañooy latte dañ bëgg a xam
yow da nga fa man dinaa nekk tambal since kañ
waaw wax ñu rek mu leer naka la
a man's stability is depend on a woman you know for how long will you be running back and forth running around? It doesn't make any sense. I am happily married.
Happily married.
Yes.
With kids.
Yes.
Congrats. Can mu fi andi application de man bëgguma jabaram ñu ñëw door ma fi xam naa ne yéen a ngi xaar loolu noonu waaye daal tontu na seen questions yi ngeen bëgg a xam yëpp laaj naa leen ko tontu na ko so bëgguma kenn andi application bëgguma ay xee ñu bàyyi la rek nga tàggatoo nga am sa message booy bàyyi Gambians ak everybody watching you right now.
Yeah, I would love to say I miss everyone watching and I appreciate the support from way back up to today. And I appreciate them too, the way they are following Gambian artists, supporting them. You know, but you know, let's support the industry as a whole. That's the most important. If you can go to Komboka launching, you go. If you can go to ST launching, just support in one way or the other. You know, so it's good to be back home and good to be here as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. mbokk yi lii lañ leen amaloon tey ci seen épisode yi Gist Hour bi yéen a ngi seetaan Eco TV International may jaajëfal suma caméra ladies yi Aida ak Aisha di leen wax dig daje ba beneen yoon incha allah bye thanks for watching.